The Dayton Flyers closed out the Maui Invitational with a W. UD took down UConn early Thanksgiving morning. After two tight games with Iowa State and North Carolina, the Flyers beat the two-time defending NCAA champs and the Huskies 85-67. Enoch Cheeks led the way with 20 points. He was named Atlantic 10 Player of the Week for his three stellar performances in Hawaii. Dayton men's soccer had their magical season come to an end Saturday night at Beaujean Field. The Flyers scored in the opening minute thanks to Cooper Lieski finding Martin Bakken for his 9th goal of the season. However, UD lost in the Sweet 16 to SMU 3-1. It's the furthest the Flyers have ever been, reaching the NCAA Men's Soccer Championship third round. The Atlantic 10 tournament champs finished the season 14-3-3 and recorded the second most wins in program history. Women's basketball bounced back on Sunday, beating Central Connecticut State 65-38. After losing two games, the Music City Classic to Maryland Eastern Shores in South Dakota, Flyers got a double-double on Sunday from Ariana Smith with a career-high 20 points and 10 rebounds. Ivy Wolf had 15 points, and Ricky Harris added 8 points and 8 rebounds to help the Flyers move to 5-3 on the year. This week, we stay on the court and talk with men's basketball associate head coach Ricardo Greer, who discusses his journey from player to coach.
Going to Pitt. I look at Pitt basketball as this incredible decade of the early 2000s, really 2001 to 2011. And there you are right at the front of it and playing in Madison Square Garden in the championship game of the Big East. As a New York City product, what was that like?
Man, I tell you what, like when you look back at it, seeing all my friends from Washington Heights, even it's funny, Kobe Bryant's dad was in the stands.
My goodness.
Kobe Bryant's dad was in the stands cheering me on and cheering Pitt on. And it was surreal because, we weren't supposed to be in the championship game, and we got to win 3 straight games and play Boston College. And, that's when I think that, the Panthers and that program took off. You had Brandon Knight, Julius Page, all them young guys that saw what it took to win. And from there, it was just like dynamite. Them guys, took that recipe. Coach Howland did a phenomenal job of getting them boys right. And, the following year, they just took it to another level.
Yeah, with Coach Allen, I know you got to play 2 seasons with him.
Yeah.
Did you kind of see where that was going?
Yeah, Coach came in and he knew he had to, change some stuff in the program, and he did a phenomenal job of being able to understand that we had talent, but we also had to be, the culture had to change, and he did a great job of recruiting the right guys to come in there. And, next thing you know, Coach Holland, man, he didn't mess around. It was defense. You had to play hard. You had to be, you had to get after it, and, you had to leave it on the floor, and that's what we did,
Definitely sort of laying the foundation there and the success that came after it. You go on to this incredible career professionally, but when did it hit you that you wanted to get into coaching?
Late, very late. I honestly didn't feel that, this was something that was in the, top of mind for me. I was playing, I was enjoying doing that. And then I remember sitting down with my wife maybe 2 to 3 years before I retired. And we were just talking about, what I want to do. And, I see a lot of young French kids that were playing professional basketball. They weren't getting educations and were just playing. And then all of a sudden, 3-4 years later, in 5th or 6th division in France, and weren't doing exactly what they expected to do. So I was like, man, I just want to help these young kids grow. I want to see if I can help them get to the States and get education, but also I just want to give back to, kids like myself that, grew up trying to figure it out, and me being able to do that will help them, but also, I got to give some of this knowledge back. So, my wife was like, I think that'd be a great idea. And interestingly enough, I had built a relationship with Donnie Jones at UCF and never asked him about coaching or anything. we just built a great relationship, love him to death. He's one of my favorite people in the world, and he asked me my last year if I was interested in coming back to coaching, I still had a couple of years of contract in Europe, and I spoke to my wife about it, and she said, if you want to do it, then let's do it. So I decided to retire early and get into the coaching business.
It was a good decision.
I appreciate that.
This entire interview will be released on Flyers Weekly Thursday at noon. Spotify, Apple Music, and our YouTube channel at Dayton Flyers. The action starts tonight on the hardwood when Anthony Grant's group takes on Western Michigan at 7 o'clock from UD Arena. Thursday, the Dayton volleyball team will take on South Carolina in the first round of the NCAA tournament in Waco, Texas at Baylor University. First serve at 5:30. And Thursday night, women's basketball will face the Miami Redhawks at UD Arena with tip at 7. On Saturday, men's basketball hosts Lehigh at 2. For more information on Dayton athletics, visit DaytonFlyers.com and follow us on social media at Dayton Flyers.